Hey guys, you miss me? Don't say that. I miss you. And we're pretty close to getting our iSearches all done. A lot of you turned in your drafts, which looked really good. I gave you some feedback on that. Got through all of the ones that were submitted to me. If you didn't turn your draft in yet, get it in. Get it in. We're past the deadline. We've modified the iSearch schedule a little bit, so we've added a little more time, but not a lot. So if you did get your draft in, great. You're at the finalization step. If you didn't do it yet, you can still pay attention to this and make some of these adjustments now. I'm going to be walking you through assembling all the parts into one good cohesive piece. It's going to be a lot of sort of tech Google Docs finagling.
I am looking at my Google Doc here of my title page. It's pretty nice. It's just one page. I've copied Mr. Prince's template and I've done just um, changed the stuff to make it look like my stuff. Great. I've got a different tab with the body of my paper in it, and I've got a different tab with my works cited in it. Now, some of you have combined these. You'll maybe be able to skip ahead if you have. If you haven't, combined them, here's what you have to do. So we have this title page. I'm going to select all, Command A selects all, and copy, Command C. If I do that, and then I go to my first page here, I'm going to put the cursor above where any other text begins and go Command V, or paste. These are all keystrokes that you really should know. They're under the Edit menu, copy, cut, and paste, Command C, Command V, Command X. You should learn those because that's universal. So I've cut and copied my iSearch title page in front of my iSearch. That's pretty fantastic. Now, the bottom of my iSearch page has the class that I'm in, the teacher's name, and the date that it's due. That's the header information that we normally put on the top of a page. Since we have a title page, we don't need any of this information. If you had that information, now you can delete it. Oops, I've gone and I've lost the formatting to center my title, so I'll just get that back. Now I have a title page with my great title, my name, the class that I'm in, the teacher's name, and the date that it's due. Okay. Now, what we're going to do next is to insert a page number. We want our last name and the page number to appear on every page of the iSearch. But to do that, we don't actually want the page number to appear on the title page. The title page doesn't really count. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cursor right after this, the last text on the title page, right at the end of all the text on this title page, right here. And I'm going to go Insert, Break, Section Break. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm telling the document, the Google Docs, that this is a section of my paper and this is a very different section of my paper. So if in this section of my paper, if I wanted to insert something in here, which I'm going to do, I'm going to insert a header, but I don't want the header on this section. I only want the header in this section. So now that I've told my paper or my document that I've got two different sections, now I can insert a header to just the body of my paper. So I'm going to go Insert, Headers and Footers, Header. Okay, now my page has a header. My title page, I guess it gave it a header as well, but I can tell it that it's a different first page than here. Now, so I've got a header, big deal. I've got this header area. Where did it go? There it is. I can double click and get back there. I'm going to go Options, Header Format. Apply to this section. So all of the things that I do in here are going to apply to this section of the header. I've got, that looks pretty good to me. So what I'm going to do while I'm in here, I'm going to put my last name, Prince, but I want my last name to appear all the way to the right side. So I'm going to click to flush it to the right. Good. So now my name appears on every page of my paper. Look at this. If I scroll down, since it's in the header, it's on the next page and the next page. I don't have to retype it. The other thing I can do is I can go to this cool Insert menu and insert page numbers. Now you get a little template of where they can appear. They can be in the lower right. We're going to put them in the upper right here. When I do that, all of a sudden I know I'm on page 2 because it just showed up. That's so awesome. So it's Prince 2. Do you think if I scroll down it'll be the next page? It is. So it knows what page I'm on. It's putting my last name and the page number on every page. Now the one thing that's happening here that I don't like is that since the title page doesn't really count, it's starting on page 2. So what I want to do is double click my header. I'm going to get to my options, page numbers, and I'm going to start at 1 and not continue from the previous section, right? So since I've named different sections, I'm going to start page 1 at this section. Now I have nothing. Actually, I do. I shouldn't do that. I just removed the header from my title page because it's a different section. So now I have my section starts here. I've got my last name in the header area of every page. I'm inserting the page number, which is now counting on every page. This is pretty great. So as I scroll down through, I can see that, holy cow, look, you seeing this? This is a 14-page iSearch paper. Looks pretty good. I've got indented quotes that break up paragraphs. I've got, what's this? I need a little space here. That's a big space there, and it tells me that, look, there's no spaces here. If I just put a little space there, that breaks that up. This is a monster paragraph. Maybe I should go back and look at that. But that's not what we're talking about right now. What we're talking about right now is just the formatting. Now, you know that in iSearch and everything MLA, you need a 12-point font. That's 12 points. What's this? That's 12 points. If you ever want to just check, you can Command A, select all. It selects the whole document. And if you ever did that, you could just make sure that your whole document is 12 points. And you can make sure that your whole document is all the same font. I like Georgia. I like Times New Roman. Remember, it has to be a serif font. Times New Roman works. As I scroll down through here, CG Times would work. Definitely never Comic Sans for anything. But yeah, I'm going to go with Georgia. It's kind of a little bit more bubbly than Times New Roman. Not a big difference, but it gives me a little bit of character. So now I've got page numbers on every page. That's great. In the header area. If I was at MTA and I printed my iSearch paper and it was 17 pages, oh, I'm only at 14 pages. If I had 13 pages come out of the printer all at once, and somebody else is rifling through to get their one dumb assignment for some other class, and they rifle through, and I come in, and my papers are sort of scattered everywhere, it's kind of an easy way to reshuffle them, to put them back in order, because there's a page number on every page. Now here's the bottom of my paper. It kind of lands in a funny spot. It lands, with just 3 lines at this. That's fine. It could be anywhere on that page. But what I want to do is I'm going to put my works cited page in the same document. I guess I'll do that first. I'm going to go over to my works cited page, which is in a separate tab. Some of you have already pasted your works cited. I saw it on your draft. I can either click and drag, or I can do the old Command A to select all. I'm going to Command C to copy. If you would rather, you can go to Edit, Copy, but I'm learning these shortcut keys. And Command V, I know, puts it back in, so I'm going to make sure that I'm down at least a space or 2. Command V, there's my works cited page. You do want your works cited page to be on a page with your name and the numbers in the top corner, so that's great. It looks to me like perhaps I've got 2 different fonts working here. Look, that's Georgia, but that's Times New Roman. So I think I'll just double check, make sure that the whole thing is, what did we decide, that Georgia was better for me today? Okay, the whole thing is going to be Georgia, the whole thing is going to be 12, just to make sure. Now, you always want your works cited to start at the top of a new page, wherever your document ends. Maybe the last page of your iSearch goes to the very bottom of the page. Maybe it's the middle, or maybe it's just the top 3 lines like mine is. What I'm going to do is right at the beginning of my page, the first information that I want on a new page, put my cursor there, and then I'm going to go Insert, Break, Page Break. This is different from a section break. This says that, okay, the works cited page is always going to start on a new page, but it's the same section, so that I want my numbering and all the things that I apply to this section to still be the same case. So now I've got, wow, a 3-page works cited. I must have, since it goes all the way down to all these blanks, I like to select all this blank space. Sometimes over the course of building a document, you end up with a lot of hard returns that get pushed down over the course of working with the document. And so if you end up with any extra blank pages at the bottom, chances are if you click and drag, you can highlight all those blank spaces and delete them. That's what I just did. So now I got a 16-page document. The last 3 are my Works Cited page. That's fine. They're all numbered, and they go after this. The reason why it's really good to put a page break before your Works Cited, as opposed to just going, well, let's just see. I'm going to delete that page break for a second. Now my Works Cited is back up here. Some students might just go return, 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 all the way down. Return, return, return. I only got 3 lines at the top, so I got to keep going. Return, 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 return. That works for all intents and purposes. You print that, I'm not going to know the difference. It's not going to matter. But if, say you said, you know what? This is a dumb line. I'm just going to take this line right out. I'm going to end right there. I'm going to take this line right out. So now my whole document has moved. And I go to here, and now I've got this mess. No problem. I'll just do this. All right. But now you change your mind. You want it back. Or maybe something else changes. Whatever you're working on the top of your document, if you have this as a bunch of returns, they're all going to move every time anything above it moves. If you just have it as a new page, insert the page break, no matter what happens above it, it's going to start on a new page. I could have 2 lines here, I could have 10 lines here, I could have 1 line here. It doesn't matter. My next page is always going to start with my Works Cited. So that's the way to format it. When you turn this in, I want to see a title page. I'm going to make this a little smaller so you can kind of see the whole document. Title page. That looks just like this. Your title, your name, our class, my name, the date that you turn it in. Your document. Your title appears again here. I know it was on here. Let's just do this. Wrongfully accused is the name of my document. So let's just do that. Okay. Boom, boom. Your title does repeat, but none of this other header information repeats. We've got a page number. We've got MLA formatted serif 12-point font throughout. Page numbers counting up. Oh, it's a monster paragraph. Prince is going to have a problem with that. He's going to go in and ask me to break that up into ideas because it's pretty long. Here's a hanging, an indented quote. Ooh, I see a no-no. Indented quotes do not need quotation marks. The fact that it's indented shows us it's a quote. You have a choice here. You have a choice. Some people like this double-spaced piece. That's fine. That's the sort of new format MLA. Other people will say, you know, I like to mix it up a little bit. You can single-space your indented quote. You can do that. Either way, whatever floats your boat. And there you have it. So you'll be turning in this title page, body of your paper, Works Cited, all on one document. That's what we're going for when I ask for your final draft to be assembled so you can give it the last pre-flight checklist checkpoint so you can submit the thing. Almost there.